Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to our study along of the World Order of Baha'u'llah, Selected Letters by Shoghi Effendi. If you're joining for the first time, welcome. This is an ongoing series. This book is a collection of letters, and it is linked below in the description if you want to follow along, as well as the playlist of me reading this book. This series is really just a study along of me reading the words of Shoghi Effendi and then adding a little bit of my own personal thoughts and commentary. I always welcome your thoughts and commentary, so please drop them in the comments or feel free to email me through my website, jacquelinclaireart.com/contact. In the description, you will also find the launch video for this series, so it'll kind of give you more of an orientation if you're just popping in, as well as the playlist. I think I said that already, of me reading this book and some more information on the Baha'i Faith. All right, my friends, with that, let's jump in to the section subtitled that's next week, Unity in Diversity. So crazy, amazingly important. Unity and diversity is the watchword of the Baha'i Faith, and it is also something that has become a lot more used in wider society since Shoghi Effendi first used it in 1931. If you actually look this phrase up on Wikipedia, because like advertisings nowadays, that's the trend, right? Unity and diversity. But the first known use of it was actually from the Baha'i Faith, from Shoghi Effendi. And all of today's section is so memorizable. So many things are addressed in this short section about what do we really mean by unity and how does that apply to a world commonwealth. And he really addresses a lot of the things that people go ooh, I don't know if I would want that. And he, addresses how this can be done in a balanced way that gives the proper freedoms and the proper cohesion for a world that doesn't need to fight and doesn't need war and, doesn't need to dispute over resources and religious or ethnic privileges and that sort of thing. Okay, so enough of me. Let's get into this. You'll love it. You're going to love it. Let there be no misgivings as to the animating purpose of the worldwide law of Baha'u'llah. Far from aiming at the subversion of the existing foundations of society, it seeks to broaden its basis, to remold its institutions in a manner consonant with the needs of an ever-changing world. Already, right there, you guys. Far from aiming at the subversion of the existing foundations of society, it seeks to broaden its basis, to remold its institutions in a manner consonant with the needs of an ever-changing world. It can conflict with no legitimate allegiances, nor can it undermine essential loyalties. Its purpose is neither to stifle the flame of a sane and intelligent patriotism in men's hearts, nor to abolish the system of national autonomy, so essential if the evils of excessive centralization are to be avoided. Just for my Texas folks, I'm going to read that one again. It can conflict with no legitimate allegiances, nor can it undermine essential loyalties. Its purpose is neither to stifle the flame of a sane and intelligent patriotism in men's hearts, nor to abolish the system of national autonomy, so essential if the evils of excessive centralization are to be avoided. It does not ignore, nor does it attempt to suppress the diversity of ethnic origins, of climate, of history, of language and tradition, of thought and habit that differentiate the peoples and nations of the world. So it doesn't ignore, nor does it attempt to suppress this beautiful range of diversity, ethnic, climate, history, language, tradition, thought, habit. It calls for a wider loyalty, for a larger aspiration than any that has animated the human race. So we're talking about a wider loyalty, a larger aspiration. It insists upon the subordination of national impulses and interests to the imperative claims of a unified world. So insists on the subordination of national impulses and interests to the imperative claims of a unified world. It repudiates excessive centralization on one hand and disclaims all attempts at uniformity on the other. Its watchword is unity in diversity, such as abdu'l-Baha'i himself has explained. And this is one of my favorite quotes from abdu'l-Baha'i. Consider the flowers of a garden, though differing in kind, color, form, and shape, yet inasmuch as they are refreshed by the waters of one spring, revived by the breath of one wind, invigorated by the rays of one sun, this diversity increaseth their charm and addeth unto their beauty. How unpleasing to the eye if all the flowers and plants and leaves and blossoms, the fruits, the branches, and the trees of that garden were all of the same shape and color. Diversity of hues, form, and shape enrich and adorneth the garden and heighten the effect thereof. In like manner, when diverse shades of thought, isn't that fun? When diverse shades of thought, those things you can't see, to me that means a lot, like diversity of thought. Diversity of thought, temperament, character. Ooh, these are getting tricky. People who have different temperaments and thoughts and characters than you are brought together under the power and influence of one central agency. The beauty and glory of human perfection will be revealed and made manifest. And again, you guys, of course, we also mean the beautiful external shades, but we are all so much more than what we look like, or the gifts that we have to share, and our thoughts and our virtues and all of that. So that goes without saying. Not but the celestial potency of the Word of God, which ruleth and transcendeth the realities of all things, is capable of harmonizing the divergent thoughts, sentiments, ideas, and convictions of the children of men. So it is our differences, external, internal, character, temperament, thought, convictions, that make us beautiful reflections of God. And not but the celestial potency of the Word of God is capable of harmonizing the divergent thoughts, sentiments, ideas, and convictions of the children of men. So it's like, gosh, if only we could just harmonize everyone in the world, then we'd have unity, right? Yes, not but the celestial potency of the Word of God is capable of doing that. The call of Baha'u'llah is primarily directed against all forms of provincialism, insularities, and prejudices. Oh, I love that. The call of Baha'u'llah is primarily directed against all forms of provincialism, insularities, and prejudices. If long-cherished ideals and time-honored institutions, if certain social assumptions and religious formulae have ceased to promote the welfare of the generality of mankind, if they no longer minister to the needs of a continually evolving humanity, let them be swept away and relegated to the limbo of obsolescent. I know the word, it was the form of it. Obsolescent and forgotten doctrines. And that's so gentle, so beautiful. It's like we're not going at it with a, chainsaw. But if these, if things are not promoting the welfare of the generality of mankind, if they no longer minister to the needs of a continually evolving humanity, let them be swept away and relegated to the limbo of obsolescent and forgotten doctrines. Why should these, in a world subject to the immutable law of change and decay, be exempt from the deterioration that must needs overtake every human institution? For legal standards, political and economic theories are solely designed to safeguard the interests of humanity as a whole, and not humanity to be crucified for the preservation of the integrity of any particular law or doctrine. So I'm going to wrap there, my friends. I think today gets the award for my favorite section so far. But I think I say that more or less every time. I love this book. Thank you so much for studying with me, you guys. If you're watching in if you are watching in real time, I wish you a fun and safe Memorial Day weekend. This is a weekly study, so I'll catch you next week, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, with these pre-recorded study along videos. If you want to do live streams with me, just help me get to 1,000 subscribers, and then we can live stream this. All right, my friends, till next time, I wish you the best for playing your unique part in making this world a better place. Catch you next time.